You probably think that becoming a millionaire is the big milestone, but it's not. The real turning point, the one that really changes your life, is just $10,000. Because once you hit your first $10,000, everything starts to shift. Your confidence changes, your decisions change, and money stops feeling so dang scary. This isn't just hype. There's real psychology and math why this number matters so much. So in this video, I'll be breaking down exactly what happens once you reach $10,000 and why your entire financial life feels completely different once you get there. So the first reason this milestone matters so much is that your relationship with money completely changes. Before you hit $10,000, money feels stressful. Every bill feels like a threat, and every unexpected expense feels like a disaster. And even when you save a little, it never feels like enough. But once you reach $10,000, something shifts. You stop feeling scared of money, and you start feeling in control of it. You go from reacting to everything to finally being in control for the first time. This is the moment where money stops being emotional. You're not panicking, you're not checking your bank account 10 times a day. You finally feel like you could breathe. And here's the part nobody talks about. $10,000 breaks a mental barrier. It proves to you that saving real money is possible. It's the first time you could actually look at your account and say, hey, I actually did this. And that truly changes your identity. And that feeling right there, that's the real beginning of wealth. Not being rich, but finally feeling safe. The second reason this milestone matters is because $10,000 gives you your first real financial safety net. Before this point, every emergency feels like a crisis. One repair, one medical bill, one missed paycheck, and your whole month is ruined. You're stuck juggling bills, moving your money around, and praying nothing else goes wrong. But once you finally have $10,000 saved up, that fear finally calms down. You don't feel so fragile anymore. And if something does hit you, whether that's a random bill, a flat tire, or a medical visit, you can actually handle it without your whole life falling apart. And that right there alone is huge. Because $10,000 doesn't just save you from a financial emergency, it protects you from falling back into financial chaos. And for the first time ever, problems don't destroy you. You could just absorb them and keep going. The third reason this financial milestone is so life-changing is because you finally escape paycheck-to-paycheck mode. I don't just mean financially, I mean emotionally. Before you hit $10,000, you always feel like you're just one mistake away from everything falling apart. One bad month, one expected bill, one missed shift, and you're gonna be right back to zero. You're constantly stressed, constantly calculating, and constantly trying to stretch every dollar bill. But once you have $10,000 saved, that pressure finally fades away. You don't feel everything is so fragile anymore. You still pay bills, you still budget, and you still work hard, but you don't have that knot in your stomach. You're not living in fear anymore. You're not waiting for something to go wrong. You finally feel that you have space to breathe. And that mental freedom is something that most people underestimate. The fourth reason this financial milestone matters so much is because the journey to $10,000 forces you to build real financial discipline. Nobody reaches 10K by accident. You get there by learning to control your spending, saying no to impulse buys, tracking your money, and staying consistent month after month. And believe it or not, those habits are more valuable than the money itself. Because at the end of the day, the money comes and goes. But the discipline, the knowledge, the habits, those stick with you forever. Once you've learned to save, delay gratification, and stay consistent, nobody can take that from you. You understand how to budget, you understand how to plan. And most of all, you understand how to stay consistent even when things feel like they're moving slowly. By the time you finally hit 10,000, you've built a version of yourself that could finally handle money on a whole different level. And that discipline doesn't stop after 10K. It follows you to every financial goal you set after this one. The fifth reason this milestone feels so powerful is because $10,000 is the first time that compounding feels so powerful. When you have a couple hundred or even a couple thousand invested, the growth is so small that it barely feels like anything. You make a few cents, maybe a couple dollars. And honestly, it doesn't feel motivating at all. But once you hit 10,000, the math literally changes. 5% isn't a few dollars anymore. At $10,000 invested, that's at least $500. At 7%, it's $700, and at 10%, it's $1,000. Now your money is growing in a way that you could actually see. It's not pennies, it's progress. And here's the part that actually surprises people. Once you see your money grow without you lifting a finger, it changes how you think. You finally understand what people mean when they say let your money work for you. This is the moment where investing finally stops feeling slow and pointless. It starts feeling like a real path forward. The sixth reason this milestone is a game changer is because $10,000 creates massive momentum. The truth is, going from $0 to $10,000 feels like it's taking forever. Every dollar feels slow. Every month feels like it's barely making any progress. But once you hit that first 10,000, everything speeds up. And the reason is, this time you set a goal for yourself, you already have a plan, you already trust yourself, and you already have a system. And you finally have money actually growing in the background. Now, every month adds up faster, the saving rate goes up, and your return finally gets bigger. Your progress finally motivates you instead of draining you. But the hardest part of saving money isn't getting to 100,000, It's getting to that first 10. Once you finally break that barrier, getting to 20 or 30K doesn't take years. Reason number 7 why this milestone is so important is because $10,000 unlocks opportunities. Opportunities you simply don't have when you're broke. When you're at zero, every decision feels like survival. You can't invest, you can't take risks, you can't start anything. You're just trying to get to the next paycheck. But once you have 10,000 saved, you suddenly have options. You could invest consistently without fear. You could start a side hustle or small business. You could move out, fix your credit, or upgrade your environment. You start to take calculated risks instead of desperate ones. In short, you become financially mobile. You finally have freedom to say yes to opportunity and the stability to say no to things that aren't right for you. $10,000 doesn't make you rich, but it gives you something just as valuable: flexibility. And finally, the last and biggest reason this milestone changes everything is because your financial confidence and identity completely shift once you've saved $10,000. Before this point, you might have wanted to save money, but you didn't really believe you could build real wealth long term. We've all been there. You're kind of just hoping everything works out. But once you actually see $10,000 sitting in your account, money that you saved through your own discipline and consistency, something truly changes in your mind. You stop seeing yourself as broke or bad with money. You start seeing yourself as someone who could actually do this. Your decisions improve, your confidence grows. You start thinking longer term and stop sabotaging your own progress. And the crazy part is, once your financial identity shifts, saving the next $10,000 becomes so much easier. Not because you're making more money, because you change. This is why people say the first 10K is the hardest. It's not just about the money, it's about who you become along the way. This goal is really about the journey and not so much the destination. So that's why $10,000 is the true turning point of your financial life. It's not just about the money, it's about the control and confidence, the discipline and the momentum it gives you. If you're watching this video, your mind's already in the right place. And if you're already working towards your first 10K, keep going. It feels slow in the beginning, but once you hit it, everything speeds up. And if you enjoyed this video or learned something new, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and drop a comment. As always, I reply to every single one. And if you want to keep leveling up your money, this is the video that the YouTube algorithm thinks you'll like best. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.